Ready إن شاء الله. طيب السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So we continue inshallah with Al-Imam Ibn Al-Qayyim. Today Saturday the 15th of Al-Muharram 1441 and matching the 14th of September 2019. And as I said, we will continue because we want to try to finish this subject before we start the new subject with the Sheikh Akram, inshallah. Al-Imam Ibn Al-Qayyim, he says, also from the wisdoms behind the destiny that sins are destined to happen, أن الذنب يوجب لصاحبه التيقظ والتحرز من مصائد عدوه ومكامنه. That committing a sin, it will necessitate for the one who committed it to be on the alert, تيقظ, to be awakened, تحرز, to be on guard, to be cautioned, to be on guard, on his toes, as they say, من مصائد, from the traps of his enemy, and makamini, from his hiding places, يعني places where he will ambush you. ومن أين يدخل عليه اللصوص والقطاع ومكامنهم. And also he will be alert to from where the robbers, those who cut off the roads, they will enter upon him, and from where or the places of their hiding places where they lay in wait to ambush you. When you fall into a sin, now you know, you are more alert, you are more awakened to these things. ومن أين يخرجون عليه, from where they will show up and attack you. وفي أي وقت يخرجون, you will know what time they will come out. فهو قد استعد لهم وتأهب. For then surely he has prepared himself for them, and he got, prepared. وعرف بماذا يستدفع شرهم وكيدهم. And he already knows what is it that he will use in defense against their evil and against their evil plotting. فلو أنه مر عليهم على غرة وطمأنينة لم يأمن أن يظفروا به ويجتاحوه جملة. If he passes by them, he says, if he passes by them in a state of being unaware, condition of peace of mind, he's comfortable, right? Not on the alert. He will not be safe and secure then that they will conquer and beat him, and that they will launch an attack, that they will be completely, they will perform اجتياح, they will invade him and take over him completely. طيب. So when you fall into a sin, now you know where it happened and when it happened. That's one of the benefits, one of the wisdoms behind that, so that you will be on the alert. You accompany certain types of people, that's where you got hit. Next time, you don't accompany them. You are using the tablet, or you're using the YouTube, or using this or that, and you got hit from there, you fell into a sin because of that. Next time, you don't allow that to happen. You turn it off, or you don't allow it to just show on the, right? So that you will not fall into this trap. So one of the wisdoms behind decreeing and destining that the people will fall into sins, that next time they will be on the alert. And when they do that, then they are more rewarded the more they are cautious and cautioned and careful, doing their due diligence to protect themselves. It's not the same. Number 23. ومنها أن القلب يكون ذاهلا عن عدوه معرضا عنه. مشتغلا ببعض مهماته. From the wisdoms is that the heart would be somewhat absent-minded, distracted. The mind will be distracted from his enemy, turning away from him, busying himself. He's busy with some of the important matters to him. فإذا أصابه سهم من عدوه. Now if an arrow was shot and hit him from his enemy, استجمعت or استجمعت له قوته وحاسته. All his power now, all his powers will gather together, will gang up together. His senses also will gather together, and his zeal also, حميته will come. وطلب بثأره إن كان قلبه حرا كريما. He will seek to take revenge from his enemy, that is, if his heart was a heart of a free, noble person. كالرجل الشجاع إذا جرح, like a brave man when he gets wounded. فإنه لا يقوم له شيء, nothing stands in front of him. بل تراه بعدها هائجا طالبا مقداما. After that noble free person, he gets wounded, you will see him after that, he is agitated. He is basically enraged. He is furious. He is jumping and going forward. Nothing stands in front of him. والقلب الجبان المهين إذا جرح كالرجل الضعيف المهين إذا جرح. As for the heart, that is a coward heart, that is a lowly type of heart, humiliated, despised type of a heart. If he got wounded, he's like the coward, weak man. He's like the weak, ضعيف مهين. He's like a weak, despised, despicable person, man. إذا جرح ولا هاربا. If he gets wounded, he will run away. والجراحات في أكتافه, while the wounds are on his shoulders. وكذلك الأسد إذا جرح فإنه لا يطاق. Likewise, he said, the lion, if he gets wounded, you cannot bear what he will do. The lion, he will just be fiercely attacking. He said, فلا خير في من لا مروءة له بطلب أخذ ثأره من أعدى عدوه. There is no good at all in the one who has no dignity. No dignity. By dignity how? By seeking to take revenge from the most of his enemies. The enemy that is the most of his enemies. The worst of his enemies. فما شيء أشفى للقلب من أخذه بثأره من عدوه. Nothing would heal the heart more than taking revenge from his enemy. ولا عدو أعدى له من الشيطان. There is no enemy that is more showing enmity to you more than the shaitan, more than Satan. فإن كان قلبه من قلوب الرجال المتسابقين في حلبة المجد جد في أخذ الثأر. He said, so if his heart was from the hearts of the men who compete and race in the racetrack of glory, حلبة المجد, the racetrack of glory, then he will strive hard to achieve his revenge, to take his revenge, to avenge himself. وغاض عدوه كل الغيظ. He will make his enemy furious and enraged, all the kinds of rage. وأضناه, most tiring type of rage. كما جاء عن بعض السلف, as has come from some of the pious predecessors. إن المؤمن لا يمضي شيطانه. Surely the believer will get his shaitan very tired. كما يمضي أحدكم بعيره في السفر. Exactly like the one of you will make his riding animal, the camel, so much tired while traveling. Right? So, يعني, if you fall into a sin, if you have a strong, noble heart, you will fight back and you will make your enemy, the shaitan, you will make him the most defeated. Why? Because you want to humiliate him. You want to take your revenge. You want to avenge yourself. Why? Because you have fallen into the trap. If you didn't fall into the trap, you wouldn't be as furious and as, brave and as, having the zeal to launch the attack. You wouldn't. But because of the sin, because you slipped, then you will have those feelings within you. So then you will, as in this narration here from the pious predecessors, and actually it's in a hadith in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad. It has some weakness in it, but the meaning of it is very true. That the one of you makes his shaitan so tired and exhausted, like you make your camel tired and exhausted while traveling in a journey, right? So you keep doing dhikr and dhikr and dhikr, the shaitan gets weaker and weaker and more tired, right? Exhausted. Why? Why did that happen? Because you fell into negligence, ghafla, so he attacked you. So now you know where you were taken from and when it happened, and therefore now you are ready to avenge yourself and make him tired and make him exhausted. Next, number 24, he says, from the wisdom behind decreeing sins. أن مثل هذا يصير كالطبيب, that the likeness of this person who has fallen into a sin, he will be like a doctor, like a medical doctor, طبيب. ينتفع به المرضى في علاجهم. The sick people, they will benefit from him in treatment, in their treating themselves, ودوائهم, and taking medicine. والطبيب الذي عرف المرض مباشرة أو كان المرض يباشره, in another copy, the doctor who got acquainted directly with the sickness, or he fell into the sickness himself directly, وعرف دواءه وعلاجه, and he knew the medicine for that sickness and the treatment for that sickness. أحذق وأخبر من الطبيب الذي إنما عرفه وصفا. He is more skillful, more skilled, more having more experience, more of an expert than the doctor that he only got to know the sickness by description. You have a doctor who himself went through the sickness and a doctor who was described for him. The doctor who has it himself, who had that sickness, he is more sharp, more skillful, more of an expert regarding that sickness. He said, هذا في أمراض الأبدان. This is regarding the sicknesses of the bodies. وكذلك في أمراض القلوب وأدوائها. Likewise in the sicknesses of the hearts and the diseases of the heart. The same way. وهذا معنى قول بعض الصوفية. This is the meaning of the statement of some Sufis. Yani not every statement the Sufis say is wrong, right? Sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right. If they said something right, we can take that, right? Although we know we don't need them, yani. We don't need their right stuff. But if they said it and it happened to be quoted, alhamdulillah. What do they say? Similar to what he said. أعرف الناس بالآفات أكثرهم آفات. The people who are most acquainted with problems and sicknesses are the ones who have most problems and sicknesses. Yani, I've gone through a lot of problems and a lot of sickness, so I know more about that. Now in terms of the heart he's talking, right? He knows, he got through the sickness of kibr, arrogance, right? The sickness of fakhr, boastfulness, right? And so on and so forth. And he got treated from it. Now, the minute he sees someone having that arrogance and pride and boastfulness, he can detect it. He doesn't even have to talk. Before he talks, he knows this person, miskeen, is just too young and foolish, so much proud of himself. He doesn't know what he's doing. Before even he talks, just the way he walks, the way he wears his thobe, right? The way he turns, right? You see that, right? Do you see what I see or you don't? I think you do, right? But they don't. Those people who have those sickness, they don't feel that. But you know, because you've been through it. I got sick with that maybe 40 years ago, and now you just got it now. Alhamdulillah. So he says that the one who goes through this problem of a sin, he turns into a doctor now, treating others from it. وقال عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه, Umar رضي الله عنه is reported to have said, and this wording here is not directly from him, it's like combined from more than one statement, it seems. But anyhow, is famous. إنما تنقض عرى الإسلام عروة عروة إذا نشأ في الإسلام من لا يعرف الجاهلية. The strongest handholds of Islam, things that tie you up and connect you to Islam. The Islamic legislations, they start to be broken up one after the other. People start slipping away, leaving this legislation, this tie connecting them to Islam, this tie connecting them to Islam, this connection connecting them to Islam. They start leaving and abandoning one after the other. When he says, if you have people who got raised up in Islam, not knowing the pre-Islamic era, they don't know the problem of Jahiliyyah, the ignorance that was before. He said, same issue. The Sahaba, they were so much far away from Islam. Then they got Islam. They saw the difference. It's like night and day. Islam is the day and Jahiliyyah is night. So they know the value of what they have compared to, but those who were raised upon Islam from the beginning, they don't know the darkness of kufr. They don't know that. Right? Subhanallah, those who go to public school, then Islamic school, Islamic school, then public school, right? Those who go to Islamic school and then they go in the public, or they go all the way Islamic school, then they go to the university. There is no Islamic university. They feel, they were taken from one world to a different world, right? That's why some foolish parents, they say, I want my kids to be raised with the environment, the same environment. I don't want them to experience this change. You want them to be kuffar from the beginning. You are a mad person just because, I want them when they become old, so they can, dissolve in the society. They become, in the melting pot. They will get a job. They will not have this. You don't want them to have a barrier between Islam and kufr. You don't want them to draw the line. You don't want them to sense and appreciate Islam and the opposite of it. Subhanallah al-Azim. But then, this is a reality. That's what it is. So he says, وَلِهَذَا كَانَ الصَّحَابَةُ أَعْرَفَ الْأُمَّةِ بِالْإِسْلَامِ وَتَفَاصِيلِهِ. This is why the companions, they were the most knowledgeable of this ummah, of Islam and its details. وأبوابه وطرقه, its doors and its pathways. وأشد الناس رغبة فيه, and the most intense of the people, most severe in the people in terms of longing and yearning, loving Islam, محبة له, loving it, وجهادا لأعدائه, striving against, they were the most in striving against its enemies, وتكلما بأعلامه, and speaking about its signposts, يعني things that are major things in Islam, they speak about it the most. The Sahaba رضي الله عنهم, they used to call and invite people to that. وتحذيرا من خلافه, they were the most in terms of warning against and cautioning against the opposite of Islam. لكمال علمهم بضده, because their knowledge of its opposite is complete. They know how dark is the dark night. That's why they know. They say الضد يظهر حسنه الضد وبضدها تتميز الأشياء. Right? The opposite makes its opposite glaringly beautiful. The beauty of it becomes clear. Right? Because with the opposites, matters are distinguished. The man, the opposite is the woman. يعني. Right? So you know the man is the woman. يعني. Right? All men, all women. Right? I've been listening, someone sent me a clip of one of the pastors from Africa. He was talking to some of the English people. He was saying, you say there is no difference, you know, I'm married, you are married. This one is married to a woman and this one is married to a man. Then he said, I can have children. Oh, you can't have children. They are kind of open because they're Africans, you know, they're still, you know. So, you know the opposite, then, so they knew the Islam clearly, they knew Islam so clearly, so they know its opposite so clearly. فجاءهم الإسلام كل خصلة منه مضادة لكل خصلة مما كانوا عليه. Islam came to them, each quality of it is the exact opposite of the quality that they used to be upon. فازدادوا له معرفة وحبا. So they were increased in knowledge of Islam and in love for Islam. وفيه جهادا, and striving for its cause. بمعرفتهم بضده, because they knew its opposite. وذلك بمنزلة من كان في حصر شديد وضيق ومرض وفقر وخوف ووحشة. This is like the example of a person who was in a complete, you know, يعني critical situation. Things are so much tight, so tight for him. حصر شديد وضيق, so narrowed down. مرض, sickness, فقر, poverty, خوف, خشية, fear and terror, you know, their fear, so much fear. فقيض الله له من نقله منه إلى فضاء وسعة وأمن وعافية وغنى وبهجة ومسرة. So Allah Azza wa Jal facilitated for him, for that person, someone who will move him, who will transport him from that tightness and all of this to فضاء وسعة, to open space, expansive, so wide of a space, so vast, and security, and well-being, and richness, and delight and happiness. فإنه يزداد سروره وغبطته ومحبته بما نقل إليه بحسب معرفته بما كان فيه. So the happiness and joy of this person will be completely increased. His love will be completely increased to the new place that he was moved to, according to how much he knew what he was in. And imagine different people in that tight, narrow, bad place. Some of them were exposed to all of its bad aspects. Some of them were not, only exposed to few things. When they moved to the next place now, those who knew more about the bad qualities of that earlier place, they are happier with the new place than the other ones who knew lesser of the bad qualities of the place that was before. وليس حال هذا كمن ولد في الأمن والعافية والغنى والسرور. The condition of this person is not going to be the same like the one who was born into a situation of amn, security, عافية, well-being, غنى, richness, and surur, happiness. فإنه لم يشعر بغيره, for he did not even sense or feel other than it. وربما قيضت له أسباب تخرجه عن ذلك إلى ضده وهو لا يشعر. And maybe some causes are facilitated, are assigned, are made for him that might even make him leave, might exit from that goodness to its opposite while he does not feel it. وربما ظن أن كثيرا من أسباب الهلاك والعطب تفضي به إلى السلام والأمن والعافية. This person who's not aware of the previous condition, he was born into goodness, he was born into Islam, he might even think that many of the causes leading to destruction, leading to being harmed, he might think that some of these causes may lead him to peace, safety, and security and well-being. فيكون هلاكه على يدي نفسه وهو لا يشعر. So destruction will happen to him at his own hands while he does not feel it, while he does not sense it. وما أكثر هذا الضرب من الناس. وما أكثر هذا الضرب. How many of this type of people there are within the humans? There are so many. There are so many. They are so heedless, they don't know the bad things. Therefore, they could be swayed, they could be brought to what is evil. فإذا عرف الضدين, so if he got to know the two opposites, وعلم مباينة الطرفين, and he knew how different and far apart the two edges, the two sides are from each other, وعرف أسباب الهلاك على التفصيل, and he knew the causes of destruction in detail, كان أحرى أن تدوم له النعمة. Then it will be more likely for him that the favor and the bounty that he has will continue to stay, to last with him. ما لم يؤثر أسباب زوالها على علم. As long as he will not prefer the causes that lead to the vanishing of that favor. He knows them, then he chooses otherwise. This way, he will end up, right? But the one who knows the bad things and the good things, he will be much more aware than the one who is miskin. That's why some of our brothers, they say about their kids, who they raised them in a bubble, They raised them in a bubble. They don't know anything bad from outside. They're always under their parents' wing. He could be a boy and he reaches 18 years old. He doesn't know evil at all. So he goes to school. The first girl will snatch him away from his parents, from his family, he's gone with the wind, gone. He doesn't know. Right? And he doesn't know the tricks and the evil plots of those people. Right? And other things that are like it. The evil company. He never, accompanied bad people. He never, he was never around. He never tried. He never experienced. So they say, my son miskin, he doesn't know anything. Just like so much of a domesticated cat, doesn't know anything, no evil, right? Here he says, وفي مثل هذا قال القائل, in the likeness of this, the poet said, عرفت الشر لا للشر لكن لتوقيه. I got to know evil not for the sake of evil, for the sake of doing evil, but rather in order to avoid it, in order to protect myself from it. ومن لا يعرف الشر من الخير يقع فيه. And the one who does not know evil from good, he will fall into it. He will fall in evil because he doesn't distinguish. Right? That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his خطب كل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Where are the bid'ah in his time عليه الصلاة والسلام? Where are the innovations in his time? He is there. He does not allow bid'ah. But he was continuously warning against newly invented matters in the religion. So that you will know you need to stay on the path. No bid'ah at all. And this is a message that is established in Islam. No bid'ah in Islam. You just follow. Ittiba'. No innovations. You don't make up your own stuff. You just follow the religion. That's it. Why? Know the evil not because of knowing evil, but in order to stay away from it. That's why the scholars of the Sunnah, they author something about the Sunnah, how to perform Hajj. Then the bid'ah of al-Hajj. Why? You know what is good, you need to know what is bad. And then you go there and you see it in front of your eyes. People are doing it. So you're already forewarned, this is a bid'ah, don't do this. Right? وهذه حال المؤمن, he says. This is the condition of the believer. يكون فطنا حاذقا. He will be fatin, not like sleeping. He will be alert, sharp. حاذقا, he is so skillful, so sharp in what he does. أعرف الناس بالشر, most knowledgeable amongst the people of evil. وأبعدهم منه, and he is the farthest away from it. He knows it, but he is far away from it. فإذا تكلم في الشر وأسبابه ظننته من شر الناس. If he speaks about evil and the cause is leading to it, you would think this man is one of the most evil people ever. So experienced in this. How did he know this? Right? فإذا خلطته وعرفت طويته رأيته من أبر الناس. But if you mingle with him and you know his inner soul, then you will view him, you will see him to be from the most righteous of the people. والمقصود, the intention behind this is to say أن من بلي بالآفات, that the one who is tried with problems, with sins in this case, صار من أعرف الناس بطرقها, he will become from the most knowledgeable of the people regarding its ways, its paths. وأمكنه أن يسدها على نفسه وعلى من استنصحه من الناس. And he will be able to block the avenues to evil. He will be able to block them from himself and from the other people who ask him for advice. And even those who do not ask him for advice. There are people who ask you for advice. There are people who don't. But you advise them anyway, whether they ask you for advice or you don't. Because you know the evil involved in that, you tell them about them and you advise them so that the avenues leading to evil will be completely blocked. Right? So we will stop here, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. And we continue next week, inshallah. We will have our final session, inshallah, regarding this subject. I was hoping to cover more, but I couldn't. So I will do it next week, inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب